If you have not seen the first part yet, do that because you'll be totally confused if you don't. If you skip to the very end of this video in the outro, there'll be a button that you can click that leads you to the Storytime playlist. So, that might be the easier way to look for the second part. Just, yeah, if you haven't seen it, then just go watch it. Jeez, dang! So anyway, this is part 2. Go watch part 1 if you have. So, I go downstairs to get, like, ice cream or something. I forget. I go downstairs to get something, and I go downstairs with my bat, because it's, like, pitch black down there, and if I see this dang rat, I'm gonna be striking down at it with my bat, and it's gonna feel the wrath of the Jacob. So, it's like, nothing really happens at all. So, anyway, then, eventually, we're seeing that, the Brownie, the rat, is getting to know Coco. Remember Coco, the rat? Yeah, so Brownie is, like, clawing at the cage and trying to set Coco free, because we find poop near Coco's cage, and the rat, Brownie, has been scratching up the bottom of the rat cage and all that crap. So anyway, we start searching again for the rat. So we lift up the couch, we lift up the cabinets, and wait, we lift up the cabinet. No, we don't. No, the curio cabinet. You look behind that, there's crap, food, all that. So then my dad decides to take the freaking dishwasher out, because he looks under there and he sees some dog food under the dishwasher, and he has to take the entire dishwasher out. So he does that, and then he takes it out and all that. And the dishwasher's still full of dishes, is sitting in the middle of the kitchen, and my dad is looking like crawled up in the hole where the dishwasher used to be. Well, not, his whole body isn't in there. His, like, torso is in there, legs hanging out, or is he crouched? I can't remember. So he's in there, and he's, like, he's getting this saw thing, and he's cutting a hole in the back of the wall, because what he's facing towards the dining area, which is behind the recliner part of the couch. So anyway, he takes out this dishwasher, saws a hole in the wall, and then he sees my dad and my mom are all in the kitchen, and I'm out in the hallway of the kitchen, and he sees a little freaking, I don't know if he sees the rat's face or the rat's butt, but he says my mom's name, and he's like, it's right there. And then he backs up, and then my dad backs up, and then the rat comes shooting out of the hole, and I have the bat, and I try to chase after it, but it goes in the closet. But the funny part of this scenario is, when the freaking rat bolts out of the hole in the wall behind the dishwasher, it comes out, my dad's all like, me and my dad start chasing after it, and my mom gets scared so bad that she backs up and knocks the dishwasher over, and the dishwasher falls completely over, and you hear like smashing of dishes. So, and it's like freaking loud as crap. So, no, the dishes are okay. My mom just knocked the dishwasher over, and you hear boom, and like the clinking of dishes. So, of course, upon hearing this giant boom, my sister comes running down, and we explain to her what happened, because she thought my mom just freaking either lost it or died, which, so, this thing runs, Brownie the rat, runs into the closet, and is freaking gone. It's just whoop, gone. So one day, we hear this thing. So we hear this thing they hear this thing in the vent. They tell us that they hear this thing in the vent duct in the closet downstairs. So, my dad takes off the vent near the downstairs desk. There's a vent there, and he takes off the vent, and he sees that there is a freaking the vent duct. There's like, it goes in a little bit, and then there's this bump, and then it goes in more, and then up. So my dad reaches his hand in, he cuts a hole in the wall, and me and my mom take turns. Like, my mom's like behind me, and I have a bowl, and then we're all having flashlights. The whole family's down there and crap. So me and my mom, we all take turns like doing flashlights and with the bowl, and then my dad, we all switch around all over the place. So my dad discovers there's this bump in the vent. It's like a horizontal rectangular hump in the vent, and it's not just an indent in the vent, it's actually hollow from underneath. Like, it's like a square, and then so this bump, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. It's kind of really hard to describe. It's just a hallway. The vent duct has a bump in it, a horizontal, like you bring it up, horizontal rectangular lump in it. It's like, yeah, so then it goes across like that, and then it goes back down, and it's just normal size again. So it like gets smaller for a very short length. And then my dad feels, anyway, enough of that long freaking weird butt description of this vent lump. So my dad cuts a hole in the wall right next to the vent, and discovers that this bump is hollow. Like, it's like underneath the vent is like a hump. It's like a tunnel through the vent. It's like a tunnel through the vent. That's exactly the right description that I need. A tunnel through the vent, underneath the vent, and then it makes a lump in the vent. So, but it's kind of long. So my dad thinks that is where it's hiding. Now, the vents, but under the vent in that little hole. So my dad gets flashlights, tries to look in there, all this crap, and then he sees that there's another way to go inside the vent duct. So he looks in there, and he thinks he feels something. So he tries to, it's not the rat, it's like metal. So he gets a ruler, he tells me to get a ruler, so he gets something, and it's a freaking, like, N64 video game cartridge. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's a freaking N64 video game cartridge. We're all, like, laughing, like, why the heck is that back there? And it's freaking, like, chewed up and destroyed. It's like some space game. And it's freaking has all pee all over it and all that dust. So we end up throwing that away. I wanted to wash it down like 50 times and then keep it, but we didn't do that because it has brownie rat snot all over it. So it's not just snot, just brownie rat bodily fluid / essence, and dust is stuck to it and everything. So they're down there again, just sitting there, and they're watching TV, and they hear this scratch, like down the outside of the vent. This rat is like falling, and it falls. And what they think is that it fell off the vent duct, off the outside of the vent duct, because the poison food is like draining its power. So then what they do is they get my mom gets a bowl, and my dad like makes banging noises. No, wait, or my mom makes banging noises, and my dad grabs it with, no, I think my mom grabbed it with a bowl. She had a bowl, and the rat comes flying out, and my mom slams a bowl down on top of it. And we also have sticky traps, because it's not falling for the normal traps, so we put sticky traps down. So it is stuck to both kinds of traps. It got hit by a normal trap, and then is like entirely, its like back leg and tail is like entirely stuck to a sticky trap. So it's all under here, and my mom comes up and calls both of us down. My mom comes up and she doesn't call both of us down, she actually only calls me down because my sister is at the she's at the movies at that time. So, and all the while this rat is underneath the dang bowl, it's like freaking squealing its brains out. It's under there, it's squealing. I didn't get a video of it though because I was just watching. It was like dramatic. It's kind of sad though, but at the same time, I don't want this thing in my house. So then my sister comes home, and I walk up to her and I'm like, "We caught Brownie," and she's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she comes in and she watches my mom and my dad get this cookie sheet bowl thing with the rat inside of it up. So now what we do, this is like in frickin' this whole span. Well, first I saw the rat was like in October 2017, and now it's like in February, like in late February, no, the middle of February in 2018, and I'm in homeschool now on my laptop, online. So anyway, so then my dad, once my mom and my dad get the thing, they go out back, and they get the bowl with the thing in, they get a bin, they get this like one of those giant Tupperware blue bin things that I can fit inside of. And they put it down outside on the back porch, and me and Sarah are inside, and they're outside. I guess that's... Oh no, I leaked my sister's name. Frick. So, whatever. So anyway, me and Sarah are inside, and I think my sister just went upstairs, because she's just not... Or maybe she's... I don't know where she is. So, basically what they do is they put this bowl cookie sheet trap that they made for Brownie, plopped it down in there into this bin, closed it, and put like a rock on top of it. And then they decide what to do with it. So what my dad does is he gets his keys, his car, puts it in the back of his car, drives all the way down to this forest, and frickin' just chucks the whole bin. Not even like the contents of the bin, just opens it up and chucks the bin out. And he manages, as Brownie is about to scuttle away into the woods, my dad gets a picture of it, which I will show right now. It was like first the size of Coco, and then it grew to like the size of a hot dog, not including its tail. Sorry to ruin hot dogs for you, but whatever. I don't really care. If it's food, I'll still eat it. So anyway, that is the Brownie story. We captured it, put it out in the woods, and it is probably dead by now because rats only live a year. Coco actually lived 2.5 years. She got a freaking tumor, which we named Todd. She died like a month ago because she just got old and had a heart attack and died or something. And my dad watched her die. She was like, and just died. And then my dad saw it, and then Coco literally just had this humongous... It was like the size of her. It was this tumor. It wasn't cancerous. It was benign. Ugh. I just ripped a napkin up. I hate that feeling of ripping a napkin up. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway. So Coco ended up getting this humongo tumor that we named Todd because is super freaking big. It's like its own entity. And unlike Speedy, where the tumor was cancerous and she only lived half a year, Coco lived with this thing on her entire life, with and without this thing on. She lived 2.5 years. And she ended up dying a month ago or something, or a few weeks ago, I don't know. And they, yeah, so we just threw away. We didn't put her in a sandwich bag in the freezer. We didn't do that. We just, chucked her in a trash can. Anyway, so what I think happened with Coco, why she lived so long, is I think she opened up a portal while everyone was sleeping. She opened up a portal to rat hell, made a deal with the rat devil, and said, "Let me live forever." And then the devil was like, "Okay, fine, you can live forever, and then, but you have to have this giant tumor by your side all the time." So then Coco was like, "Okay." So then, once the tumor got so big, the devil was like, "Ha, don't make deals with the rat devil, son," and just put her out of her misery. So, that is, the story of all of my rats. The two ones that were pets and the one that was not invited into this house any way, shape, or form. And I don't know if Brownie was a guy or a girl, but I really don't care, because I'm going to eat a nice juicy burger with mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup on it, and then it has a burger with cheese on it, and onions, tomatoes, and lettuce. So good, bro. Okay, bye.